Welcome to the Oobleck lab. Today we're going to be making some Oobleck. Oobleck's a word that Dr. Seuss actually came up with to describe a gooey-like substance. Now, you guys are probably familiar with the phases of matter: solids, liquids, and gas. Oobleck is not one out of these three. It's actually known as a non-Newtonian fluid. And a non-Newtonian fluid is usually something that's comprised or classified as 2 out of the 3 phases of matter. So in the case of Oobleck, this would be liquid and solid. Substances like Oobleck can be used in various fields, including cooking and biological studies, as well as in chemical engineering.
Two of the main concepts of this lab are viscosity, which is a liquid's resistance to flow, and the 3 phases of matter. So you've got 3 that you should know, which are solid, liquid, and gas. But Oobleck is actually both a solid and a liquid. This is why it's called a suspension, because its grains are actually suspended in water.
So now I'm going to teach you how to make the oobleck. So the ingredients you'll need is half a cup of cornstarch, 1/4 cup water, some food coloring if you want, a spoon, and a bowl. And I recommend you do this in the kitchen because it could get messy. So the first thing we do is just dump the cornstarch in the bowl. If you want to feel it, it doesn't feel like what you would expect if you've never felt cornstarch before. Just splash a little bit. Yeah, the texture is like a lot softer than you expect. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slowly add this water to the cornstarch and mix with your spoon. So I'm adding the water because I just want to get all the cornstarch wet, and I'm using my hand now because the spoon was not as effective in mixing it. And 1/4 cup of water should be enough for this half cup. But if it isn't, you could just add a little bit more water. All right. And now you're going to use the spoon to gently tap the oobleck. If it splashes like a liquid, then you add more cornstarch, but it's not. So yeah, it looks pretty solidified, but it's not really liquid, not really solid. And then if you want, you can add some food coloring. So I'm gonna add just a drop or 2 of my blue food coloring and a drop of this green one. And just mix it. Yeah, I have this pretty light blue oobleck. And yeah, that's how you make oobleck.
Go.
Alright, now that we've made this really cool oobleck, we're going to explore some of its really cool features and properties. For example, the oobleck strain rate. So if I disturb it really quickly, it's going to be very resistant to moving. So see, I'm going to try and move it I'm moving my finger really hard, and see how it's being really difficult to move. But if I move my finger slowly, it's a lot easier to move. Another thing is that if I try and, let's say if I just hit it, it feels like a solid, you know? But then if I actually go in and try to grab it and I pick some up and I let it drip through my fingers, it's acting like a liquid, demonstrating those non-Newtonian properties that we discussed earlier. So this is just a really cool way that we can play with the oobleck and kind of learn more about it. And we've attached some questions and other instructions in part 2 of our project sheet. So we hope that you take the time to explore those and kind of discuss why the Oobleck is doing what it is doing.